The heat treat has been completed. It's been tempered 2 times at 400 degrees each time. And you can kind of see some of the pattern peeking through. And it looks really cool. I'm a fan of bold Damascus, and this is going to be pretty bold. I have a nice, very nicely shaped S-guard. And I did check, I measured, it will fit just fine right there. And I have selected our handle material. This is some, I think it's malee burl, or malee burl. And it looks incredible in person. And there's a little bit of sapwood burl on this side. Alright, so now I'm going to take this over to the vise. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut my G10 spacer out with the angle grinder, and I'm going to get this to the right shape on the belt sander. Okay, so I drilled this piece out, and what's really cool is I can use this piece to make a nice little bottle opener keychain, so it will not go to waste. And I am going to file this piece out. So now, I'm going to take the handle block, I'm going to split it down the middle, and I'm going to use the angle grinder with a cutoff wheel because my, I still don't have a bandsaw. Eventually I'll get a new one. My old one broke. But for right now, the angle grinder works just fine. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to clamp this together, and I'm going to grind everything all flush. You can see it's not quite flush there. And then I'm actually going to round off all the edges and thin out the handle scales a little bit more. But because I'm going to do the file work along this, I need it to be really close to the final dimensions of the handle. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then it'll be time to decorate this G10 spacer. So I've just kind of roughly shaped the scales. And now I'm going to hand sand the edges of the spacer. And then I am going to do the file work. Alright, so there is the file work. I kept it pretty bold because I do want to fill it with black epoxy. Give it just kind of a nice contrast between the spacer and the handle scales. And so now it is time to get the guard fit up. Alright, so the guard is very close. I am now going to flat grind the knife just to get all the forge scale off. And that'll thin it out just a little bit, and should let the guard come up all the way. I don't want to file the channel in the guard too large, or I'll get some big gaps, and I do not want that. The guard is fit, and the handle fits beautifully, and I just really love how that is looking. Now I do need to thin out the handle quite a bit. It's very bulky right now. It's not exactly comfortable, but that is a really good start, and it will all kind of work itself together. I really like that S-guard. So now I'm going to take some time and I am going to thin out the handle scales, and then I am going to fit a spacer in between the handle scales and the guard. Probably just use a piece of red G10 to kind of fit with the theme of the handle. And then it will be time to clean up the guard itself, finish grind the blade, and then I gotta get everything hand sanded, get the etch done, or etches done. There's multiple of them. And then the knife will be ready to glue up. I'm really loving how that is looking. So that is where I'm going to call this episode. I am so very pleased with how this is looking. It feels really wonderful in the hand. The one thing is the handle is still a little thick, but I can thin that out and it will become even more comfortable. I'm really loving just how this is looking all together. And so I hope you will join me in the next episode, part 3 of making the Damascus S-Guard coffin handle Bowie knife. I am very pleased with how it has gone thus far, and I'm really excited to see it finished. And so if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can even hit that notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when I release part 3. So I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you on the next episode of Let's Make a Knife.